Fellas, today I'm going to show you how to increase the size of your deck. Everybody is going to ask you if they can see it, and they'll be really impressed by both the size and how well you wield it. God, today would have been perfect for a Manscaped ad, but I digress. But yeah, as mentioned, today we're going to do three things. One, talk about and explain Hive Tarot card deck building, if that's something you're confused about in Season of the Witch. Two, maybe offer some constructive feedback to any of the good fine people at Bungie who might end up watching today's video. And three, give a quick heads up about some hidden loot. Let's start at the beginning. There are two new activities in Season of the Witch, Savathun Spire and Altars of Summoning. Both are three-player activities and both are match-made, so even if you're a loner, you can feel free to hop into either one and get some friends on demand. If you're looking for a recommended order to do them in, I would say do Spire first, then Altars. Reason being, when you beat Savathun Spire, you will get rewarded with offerings. Basically, Hive Skulls that go into your inventory. There are Tier 1 offerings, Tier 2 offerings, and Tier 3. I mean, technically, you can get offerings from almost any activity in the game. You don't really need to do the Spire activity, but for the sake of today's video, let's say you did. What do you do with those offerings? Well, you take them into Altars of Summoning. Think of Altars of Summoning as kind of a bastard hybrid child of both Blind Well and Court of Oryx. You launch Altars kind of like Blind Well. One guardian in the group needs to submit an offering, and when an offering has been entered, kill a bunch of enemies, stand over here, break that crystal over there, kill a special boss enemy. You know the drill, and keep going until Eris Morn's offering bar is full. When Eris Morn's bar is full, the activity is now over and you will get loot. But you can keep going and do more of the activity if you want, as long as you have additional offerings to give. In theory, if you had a buttload of offerings saved up and nothing better to do with your time, you could literally do Altars of Summoning for hours. So where does the tarot deck mechanic thingy come into play? Go to the helm, head down to where Crow likes to sulk in the corner and write misunderstood poetry, I'm assuming. Go through the Hive portal and to the new helm area, which is very Eris Morny. Head up to the gothic looking table, aka the Lectern of Divination, and here is where you will unlock your cards. The text at the top of the card table says Major Arcana Found and Minor Arcana Found. Those are the types of cards, Major and Minor. Minor cards are just quick one-shot rewards and do not contribute to the tarot deck building that we're going to talk about. The minor cards are any card that does not have a large Roman numeral on it, and as you can see, I've claimed a few so far. Two different enhancement core bundles, an exotic engram, some prisms, you get the idea. All of those were instant rewards for me, kind of like a Destiny advent calendar, but with in-game loot instead of chocolate. Now up here in the top row, these bad boys with the Roman numerals on them, those are your major cards, and those are what you're going to be using to build your deck. Quick important note, you might think that by clicking on one of those major cards that you're done and good to go. Not quite. You got to click them again to actually pick up a unique bounty tied to each major card. The bounties aren't anything crazy. Things like kill enemies in Savathun Spire, complete public events, complete waves of Altars of Sorrow, things like that. When you have that bounty, go and complete it real quick, then come back to the Lectern of Divination, and bam! You've now permanently unlocked that Major Arcana card, and it can now be a part of your deck if you want it to be. If you exit the table and turn around, you'll actually see all of your available Major Arcana cards floating around the room in a big circle. Simply walk up to a card and it should tell you right on the card the exact benefit it has the potential to give you. These major card benefits can only happen to you in Savathun Spire and Altars of Summoning, by the way, which some of you might be annoyed about, but that wouldn't really make for even footing on a day one raid race, know what I mean? But yeah, you can only have a certain number of cards active at one time. I believe the number is 5, so as you unlock more major cards, you'll have to think about the benefits offered by each one and pick 5 cards that you like the most. At the moment, it seems that major cards are time-gated, every Destiny player's favorite mechanic. I don't know anybody who has more than 5 major Arcana cards in week 1 of the current season, so unless there's a bunch of secret stuff we're missing, yeah, confirmed to be time-gated. We don't know really for sure how many major cards we'll have to unlock at this point. If you count the empty tables left in the room that display your major cards, the answer could be 12 or maybe 13, but again, who knows, could be more. When we get those new cards, again, be sure to decide which ones you want to have turned off and which ones you want to have turned on as your core 5. Here's how you get the benefit of those cards. When you're either at the beginning of a new Spire or you've just submitted a new offering in altars, you'll wave kind of a magic Hive staff and you'll see a big picture of one of your Hive cards right in front of you. You'll then get text in your HUD telling you which card you've drawn from your deck, and whatever that bonus is will be immediately applied to you for the remainder of that encounter, or at least until the next time in that activity where you wave another Hive staff and do more Hive magic. Your teammates will also get their own card drawn from their own decks if they have a deck prepared. And if they don't have a deck prepared, they get nothing. Sucks to suck. To recap, yeah, you only get the benefit of one of your 5 cards in any given encounter, and yeah, it is drawn randomly from your deck. No, you can't draw 2 or more cards at a time. No, the power of all 5 of your cards won't always be on in every encounter. Just one card from your deck picked at random. And by the way, if you're thinking, well, if the game draws one card randomly from your deck of the 5 at the helm, why don't I just go back to the helm and only turn on just one card? That way, every time I launch Spire or Altar, I'll always get that one card to activate, and I'll just make it my favorite card. Well, God love ya, you little scamp. I had the same damn thought. Unfortunately, so did Bungie. The game will flat out tell you at the helm that you have to have at least 5 cards activated in order to have access to the deck in the first place. All right, now if I may, a minor complaint. Yeah, I know it's only 3 days into the new season, but as they say in the Destiny community, never too early to complain. Why exactly is there no way for the game to remind me what the benefit is from the card I've pulled in the middle of combat? When you draw a card from your Hive deck in combat, it just tells you the name of the card. Am I supposed to memorize the benefit of every card in my deck? I mean, I guess it won't really change the way I play the encounter, I don't think. But still, I think it would be nice to get a little extra text about the card that I pulled beyond the name, because Lord knows I ain't gonna memorize all that shit. And I did have a thought, oh, it's probably in the activity modifiers when I pull out my ghost. Nope, no card information to be found. Again, not really a big deal. But if any Bungie folks are out there, maybe run that one up the old flagpole for you, boy. Appreciate it. Anyway, earning major cards might be super limited, but you can kind of farm minor cards if you want to call it that. Like offerings, minor cards can drop from completing almost any activity in D2, apparently. I've gotten minor cards from completing raid encounters, from completing games of PvP, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and loot that advent calendar if you feel like it. By the way, quick tip for new players going into Savathun Spire. There are 2 hidden chests in the Spire, and they're both really easy to unlock. When you're around this area where I'm at right now, look around for small colored circles. There should be 3 in total for chest number 1. Whatever color the circle is, shoot it with the corresponding damage element, i.e. if it's purple, shoot it with void, and after shooting all 3, bam, you get hidden chest number 1. Later, when you're around this large open area, there should be now 4 circles hanging underneath nearby platforms. Shoot all 4 to unlock hidden chest number 2. The chests appear to only drop gear once per week, but you should still activate the chest each time you do Spire, because even after getting the gear, the chest will both give you Glimmer and Ritual Table Reputation, aka reputation for the other table back at the new Helm Room. If you're interested in individual weapon deep dives for any of the weapons in the Witch's Weapon loot table, let me know down in the comment section. And of course, if there's some really broken OP Hive deck combo, I'll update the pinned comment to let y'all know about it. Check out my other latest videos from Season 22. I'll put those down in the pinned comment for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on stream.